Welcome Larry Wilson, a veteran paranormal investigator. You've experienced stuff like this, hopefully nothing as frightening as the movie goes. Talk to us a little bit about what you do.
Well, we basically will go to locations that are reported to be haunted. We try to do it scientifically. We use devices that will detect electromagnetic fields, fluctuations in the environment. These audio, video recording, infrared cameras that will pick up heat that normally wouldn't be picked up. We just basically try to do it scientifically, but we go to places that are reported to be haunted.
Right, and you do it all over the Midwest. You're from Taylorville.
Taylorville, Illinois, yes.
Spent some time in Hannibal.
Absolutely.
At Rockcliffe Mansion and Labina Bistro.
Yes, sir.
What'd you find? Well,
at Rockcliffe Mansion, actually, all night long we heard little footsteps upstairs, like children running around, and of course, the Cruikshank family had 4 children that used to play in what was called the ballroom. And that's exactly where we heard the footsteps all night long. We videotaped a shadow actually walking away from an investigator. We were down in the basement, again, right above us, heard the, footsteps above us. We were waiting for a lady to come and let us go to supper that night. And we were just sitting around a table waiting for her to come to let us in because of the mansion, all the valuables in the mansion. Mm-hmm. The owner at that time was Rick Rose, and he said, if we leave and there's nobody in the mansion, we had to lock up and we couldn't come back in. So we were waiting for this lady to come and let us in, and it was about 5 to 7. She was supposed to be there at 7. We heard the door open, heard someone drag chairs across the floor. She was supposed to be setting up for a banquet the next day. And anyhow, I said, well, it's time to go eat. We all went to say, hey, we're leaving, can you let us back in? There was nobody there. So we checked the basement, checked the house. This lady wasn't there. Checked the front door, it was locked. But we all clearly heard somebody open the door. We all heard it, and they were just like chairs being dragged across the floor. And we knew Rick wouldn't like that, but no, there was nothing like that even took place. But we heard it. Yeah.
Have you ever been in anything that was frightening? Because I've always heard the spirits at Rockcliffe were friendly, and John Cruikshank liked to show off the mansion.
Absolutely.
And liked visitors.
And that's the feeling you get there. Yeah. You get a feeling that it's still lived in. But there is one house that I've had some negative experiences. Mm-hmm. It's in Villisca, Iowa. There was a murder there in 1912. It was June 10th, 1912. There was a family of 6 and 2 little girls that stayed overnight. They were all killed. Someone came in the middle of the night, killed them all. It was an axe murder. And I've been in that house 4 times now. Twice coming home, something has come home with me.
Oh, no.
And, at first you think that, you're going crazy, there's something wrong with you. But my wife experienced it, and we have kind of a standing joke when I want to go somewhere. She said, you can go anywhere you want, just don't bring anything home with you.
No doubt.
Well, when I came home, the second time I'd been to the mansion, I came home, and when I got home, I suffered severe depression. I've never been depressed in my life. Mechanical things started breaking down. I mean, not just a few things, everything, no matter where I went. Next thing you know, I started seeing shadows of people in our house and hearing people call my name. And I'd say, what do you want? Think it was my wife or my son. I didn't say anything. Well, a few weeks later, my wife came to me and she said, what'd you bring home with you? And I said, what do you mean? Well, she was seeing the shadows and she was hearing the voices also. I was driving home one night after that, about 2 weeks after I'd been there. It was at night, looked in the rearview mirror, checked traffic. I saw me, but I saw features of someone else. That is creepy.
No doubt.
Yeah, exactly. You think you're losing it at that point. Well, I went to a place to get my hair cut. A few days later, my wife also has her hair done there. And the lady that works there, she has experiences that she had when she was a child. So we always talk about this stuff. She always asks me where I've been. We were having a conversation. She says, Larry, can you excuse me a minute? She went over and was talking to my wife. And I didn't know what the conversation was, but after my wife and I left, my wife told me that the lady asked her, what's wrong with Larry? She said, this isn't Larry. She said, I was talking to him. His complexion turned gray. She said, this isn't Larry that I'm talking to. Wow. And so that confirmed to me that what I saw wasn't just my imagination. Right. This went on for about 3 months until I finally figured out what was going on. Wow. It was just extremely a negative experience.
And you can read all about this experience and other experiences in the book, Chasing Shadows.
Chasing Shadows.
Available at Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com?
Absolutely.
All right. Can you get them on the iPad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have the iPad. You have the book.
Absolutely.
Larry, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Best of luck on your adventures.
Thank you.
Check out the book. Now, here is Hannah.